She has convinced him he actually believes that Meghan Markle is Princess Diana.
She told Harry she had been speaking to Princess Diana in her yoga class.
She's mentioned to everybody that she talks to Diana in the grave. She's obsessed with Diana.
We cannot see that when you lose all of your friends and all of your family and you're ushered to America in Hollywood with a D-list actress, it is because you are under the spell of a witch. She suffers from such a rare disorder of being unable to just be a human.
Most people think Prince Harry's dramatic fall from beloved royal to Hollywood runaway was all about love, freedom, and breaking away from palace rules. But what if that's just the cover story? What if the truth is way darker than anyone dares to admit? According to Candace Owens, Harry hasn't been living a love story.
She is using a real childhood trauma that Prince Harry suffered from, losing his mother, and she has used it to further harness him to her and their relationship.
And here's the chilling part. Harry doesn't even realize he's the victim. When someone knows your every weakness, every move before you even make it, that's not romance. That's straight up control. Meghan Markle isn't just being predictable, she's acting out a script of manipulation so polished it could win an Oscar. And no, this isn't some random internet troll conspiracy. This is calculated, dangerous, and it's hitting Harry right where it hurts the most.
She has convinced him he actually believes that Meghan Markle is Princess Diana. So in case you missed it, it turns out Meghan Markle is Princess Diana. That's what she wants you guys to know.
Remember, Harry's world shattered when he was only 12, losing his mother in a way that left him carrying trauma for life. Most people would treat that wound with care, with compassion, with love. But predators, they see an opportunity. They don't heal, they exploit. And here's where it gets disturbing. Insiders claim Harry doesn't just see echoes of his mother in Meghan. He actually believes she is his mother in some twisted psychological way. Not similar, not reminds him. Literally convinced. He doesn't just think Meghan reminds him of Diana. He reportedly believes she literally is Diana reincarnated. That's not romantic. That's downright terrifying. This is what happens when grief isn't healed but weaponized, twisted into the ultimate form of control.
Fortunately for Prince Harry, this time he got to save his mom. I mean, how sick is that? Me even saying that, it sounds so sick, but this is actually what is taking.
And the creepiest part, insiders say this wasn't some accident. It looks like it was planned from the very start. Picture it. A 12-year-old boy, traumatized after his mother's tragic accident, spending years drowning in guilt, always wondering if he could have somehow saved her. That's the wound Harry carried through his whole life, the wound that shaped everything. Now imagine a partner stepping in, not to comfort that pain, but to exploit it every single step of the way.
This is from Prince Harry. Quote, "So much of what Meghan is and how she is so similar to my mom. She has the same compassion, she has the same empathy, she has the same confidence, she has this warmth about her. That is disturbing."
That isn't love. That's pure emotional abuse dressed up as a fairy tale. Meghan didn't just stumble across Harry's soft spot, she weaponized it. She built her entire strategy on that one trauma, turning his heartache into her leverage. And the playbook worked like a charm. She convinced Harry that marrying her wasn't just romance, it was destiny. His chance to finally be the hero in his mother's unfinished story.
She wants to be Diana so bad. It's kind of freaky and kind of scary.
And here's where it gets bone-chilling. Harry believed it. He's gone on record saying things so unsettling that relationship experts cringe when they hear them. To the outside world, it looks like devotion, but behind the curtain, it looks like control at the highest level. Listen closely to the way Harry talks about Meghan. He gushes, "She has the same compassion. She has the same empathy. She has the same confidence." But think about that for a second. He's not describing a wife. He's describing his late mother.
And from the beginning, she denied being interested in the royal family, which she totally was. I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on it. And
Before they met?
Yes.
That's not normal devotion. That's confusion on a psychological level. And confusion like that doesn't just fall out of the sky. It takes time, patience, and careful manipulation to make someone blur those lines so completely. And it's not only the public catching on, Meghan's own family has called it out. When your own brother labels your behavior freaky and scary, that's a giant red flag waving in plain sight.
She's mentioned to everybody that she talks to Diana in the grave. She's obsessed with Diana. She's ordered websites and bought domains prior to even meeting Prince Harry.
People close to her have whispered for years that something wasn't right, and looking at it now, it's impossible to ignore. Because here's the kicker. This wasn't some random obsession that grew after she met Harry. No, the trail of evidence points to something far more chilling. This was planned, mapped out, and rehearsed long before Meghan ever crossed paths with him, before they even knew each other existed. That's not manifesting your dream life. That's straight-up target acquisition. Meghan didn't fall head over heels for Harry, the man. She locked onto Harry, the opportunity. And when the people who've known you since day one start raising the same alarms, it's not just gossip, it's a warning siren you can't ignore. The portrait they paint of Meghan isn't some ambitious actress chasing a fairy tale. It's something darker, colder, and far more calculated.
She's not important. She married for money. It's very clear she bagged the elephant. She was thrilled she became a, quote, princess.
We're talking about a strategy that makes even her closest relatives shudder. Her own brother didn't sugarcoat it when he exposed how far her obsession with Diana really went. And no, this wasn't casual admiration like pinning posters on your wall or watching old interviews. This was deep, consuming, and downright chilling, like she wasn't studying Diana for inspiration, but for replication. Wait a second. Meghan reportedly bought internet domains tied to Diana before she even crossed paths with Harry. That's not fandom, that's strategy. That's building a business plan around someone else's mother's tragedy.
I think she was about 7 months pregnant, and this is when they were still within the royal family. And she said, I was going to kill myself, but I didn't do it because I didn't want you to suffer the same thing that you suffered with your mom. She actually came out and said that she said this.
Most people collect celebrity magazines or old interviews. Meghan? She was stockpiling digital real estate like she was preparing for a takeover. The level of premeditation here is absolutely staggering. This wasn't some fairy tale love story that magically clicked. This was a cold, calculated trophy hunt, and Harry just happened to be the biggest prize in the entire royal room.
That obviously triggered, because it's so emotionally abusive, it triggered Prince Harry, and that became the reason that they left the royal family.
Think about it. Back then, Meghan was barely on the map, a D-list actress on a cable show hardly anyone watched. Her biggest claim to fame? Carrying a suitcase on Deal or No Deal. But deep down, she had a master plan. And that plan required one thing, breaking Harry down so completely that he would walk away from everything. His family, his lifelong friends, and his royal identity. And when manipulators feel their grip slipping, they don't back off. They go nuclear.
I have tremendous compassion for any person that is in an emotionally abusive relationship. So emotionally abusive that they have successfully isolated you from your entire family. It's not normal. There's no relationship that you should be in that should isolate you from your entire family.
Meghan didn't just cry out for help. No, she allegedly went straight for the jugular. She weaponized Harry's greatest wound by invoking Diana's story, hinting that history could repeat itself. That's not desperation. That's manipulation at its most brutal. Let's be crystal clear about what this means. Meghan didn't simply make threats to hurt herself. She used the exact trauma Harry had spent his entire adult life in therapy trying to heal. She turned his deepest pain into the ultimate bargaining chip, and it worked like a charm.
She cut you out of her life. She cut your dad out of her life. She cut your sister out of her life. Do you think that she may do the same to Harry when she feels she doesn't need him anymore?
I think it's going to happen because the threat of William taking the titles away.
Harry had finally carved out a fragile sense of stability within the royal family structure, balancing duty with healing. Then Meghan swoops in, drops a psychological bomb, and suddenly, everything he worked so hard to rebuild gets ripped apart overnight. That's not coincidence. That's strategy at its most dangerous. If you want someone to burn down their entire world for you, you have to hand them a reason so powerful it overrides all logic. For Harry, that reason was pure terror. The fear of losing another woman, the same way he lost Diana.
She's launching a rosé, but she was releasing it on the late Princess Diana's birthday. Now, do you think this is deliberate,
Yes.
Dan, that she is releasing
Yes.
the rosé as
Yes.
ever, and she's going to use Princess Diana for attention?
Meghan knew exactly which button to press, and she pressed it again and again until Harry's every decision revolved around that fear. And here's where it gets even darker. One by one, every relationship Harry had before Meghan was wiped out. Military brothers who stood by him in combat, cut off. Childhood friends who knew him before the cameras, gone. His own family, the very people who raised him, turned into the enemy. That's not love. That's not freedom. That's textbook manipulation. Isolate the target until you're the only voice left.
I know that she did this on purpose because she got her team to leak the story to her favorite British magazine. They ran this story as if it was like some great tribute.
People closest to Meghan have warned about this pattern for years. Her own brother predicted she would eventually do to Harry what she's done to everyone else in her life. After all, if she could cut off her father, her siblings, and nearly everyone who knew her pre-fame, why would a husband be untouchable? And the sickest twist? Meghan is still clinging to Diana's shadow to control the narrative. Copying Diana's iconic dresses, mimicking her poses for the cameras.
This one genuinely disgusted me because I know that this is all about trying to upset Prince William, and it's so low.
It wasn't enough. Instead of letting go, she keeps doubling down. It's not admiration anymore, it's obsession, and it's honestly disturbing. A rosé launch on Diana's birthday? Are you kidding me? Most people wouldn't even dare to dream up something so tasteless. But for Meghan, Diana's anniversary wasn't sacred. It was a marketing opportunity wrapped up in a glossy PR bow. And before anyone rushes to defend it as some innocent coincidence, let's be clear, this story didn't leak by accident.
William made a deal with Harry a few years ago, and it was like, we are going to let her rest in peace at key moments.
Meghan pushed it out herself through her go-to magazine, spinning it as a touching tribute. The audacity is jaw-dropping. Think about the message. Launching alcohol on the birthday of a woman whose life ended in a tragic car crash, and then trying to sell it as honoring her memory. That's not respect. That's cruelty disguised as branding. Even people who normally stay neutral about Meghan were left shaking their heads, calling it exactly what it was, calculated and cruel.
We're not going to go public and, for example, make anything of the death anniversary anymore. We're just not going to do that. And the fact that Meghan would literally decide to launch her shitty rosé.
And the real sting? This wasn't about Diana's legacy at all. Insiders believe it was about targeting William, using his late mother as a weapon against him. Reports say this stunt even violated a private agreement between the brothers. Years ago, William had asked Harry to respect certain boundaries when it came to their mother's memory. No exploitation, no publicity tricks, no cheap shots. But Meghan couldn't resist crossing that line. The Diana manipulation runs deeper than PR schemes, though.
She told Harry she had been speaking to Princess Diana in her yoga class, and that Diana had told her it was the right thing that we came to the United Kingdom.
Meghan has reportedly convinced Harry that she shares some kind of spiritual connection with his late mother, as if Diana somehow lives through her. To anyone else, that sounds chilling. To Harry, caught in the web, it sounds like destiny. Talking to Diana during yoga class? Claiming to receive messages from beyond the grave? Come on, this is either the wildest performance ever staged to keep Harry hooked, or Meghan actually believes she's channeling a princess from the other side. Either way, it's downright disturbing. Witnesses say she's even held conversations at Diana's grave with Harry standing by, torn between heartbreak and belief.
There's a moment in Spare as well where Meghan's talking to Diana's grave. It's like, we know what you're doing. The only person who doesn't see through this is Harry.
Imagine that. Your most private grief, the memory of your mother, turned into a stage act right in front of you. That's not comfort. That's invasion of the deepest corner of someone's soul. What Meghan has done is step directly into the space Harry has guarded for decades, the place where he mourns, where he tries to heal, and made herself the center of it all. She's not just present in his life. She's woven herself into his loss, his guilt, and his longing. That's a level of influence that leaves almost no room for clear thinking. And here's the truth, nobody wants to say out loud.
But to me, this was like the lowest of the low. It's like, this is Princess Diana's birthday. Princess Diana would be disgusted by you. Like this idea that Harry always puts out, oh, Diana would have loved Meghan. No, 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 no.
Diana would be horrified. The woman who stood up against a rigid royal machine, who wanted her sons free to live their own lives, would be disgusted to see her memory used as a weapon to control and isolate Harry. So why can't Harry see what everyone else can? Why does he keep defending someone who so clearly has her hands wrapped around his deepest wound? You're always the last one to clock what's going on because they do it smooth and quiet. They talk about privacy for years, then sign massive Netflix and Spotify deals the second the cameras blink. They quit the royal life to escape the spotlight, then turn into full-time media moguls.
They issue statements and they did interviews all about the pursuit of their own privacy. That's all they ever wanted. What extreme gaslighting that everything that they have done since they left has been public. You do not pursue your privacy with Oprah. It's just not how you do.
Talk about flipping the script, but Harry can't see the contradiction because Meghan has him so deep in her web he's reading the world upside down, like up is down and black is white. This is classic manipulation play, plain and simple, not fantasy talk. From the outside, it looks like someone learned how to gaslight for a living, crafty and surgical, and nobody around him can break the trance. He's lost old mates, cut ties with people who knew him before fame, moved countries, and even shifted how he acts. Yet he believes every choice was his idea. That's how tight the hold is, and it's scary to watch.
She is smarter than him. She is more conniving than him, and he just cannot see the writing that is on the wall. He cannot see that when you lose all of your friends and all of your family, and you're ushered to America in Hollywood with a D-list actress, it is because you are under the spell of a witch.
People who know them say it's like he got rewired, like someone rewrote his manual and left him praising the new version of himself. That's not loyalty, that's being played for keeps. So ask yourself, at what point does devotion turn into a life someone else designed for you? Even people who want to defend Meghan struggle to find anything that feels truly genuine about her. Experts who study human behavior for a living say they can't spot a single authentic moment in her public persona. Every smile, every tear, every story.
I'm searching for something to like about her, and it's so hard because she suffers from such a rare disorder of being unable to just be a human.
It all looks rehearsed, polished, and performed like a role in a movie. And yet, Harry stares at this carefully crafted character and calls her his soulmate. And honestly, why wouldn't he? Meghan sold him the ultimate fantasy package. In just a few short years, she went from briefcase girl to self-styled lifestyle guru, then leapt from a D-list cable actress to a princess with global recognition. That's not love. That's a jackpot move into a life she could never have earned on her own merit.
I've never seen someone that struggles to just give us like one strip of authenticity.
Here's the devastating reality. Once someone has turned your deepest pain into their power, breaking free is almost impossible. Harry isn't just in a rocky marriage. He's stuck in a psychological cage designed specifically for him. It's not random, it's tailored, and that's what makes it so dangerous. Now think about this. What would it actually take for Harry to wake up and admit the truth? To face the fact that the woman he believes saved him might be the one who scripted his downfall from the very start. That's the question hanging over his future.
She wants us to believe that she went from being a D-list actress from a show that nobody that I know watched, Suits, who took her clothes off, was not even a main role, to becoming Martha Stewart in 3 years. Like, this is totally authentic.
For Harry to ever face the truth, he'd have to admit the unthinkable. That he walked away from his family, his country, and his entire identity for someone who may have been playing him from day one. That kind of betrayal would crush most people. So instead of facing it, Harry does what's easier in the moment. He doubles down. He defends Meghan louder, burns even more bridges, and convinces himself he's right. Because the alternative means admitting he gave up everything for nothing. And here's the darkest twist. Meghan knows this. She understands that the deeper he's entangled, the harder it is for him to break free. Every public statement, every staged photo op, every Netflix scene adds another lock on the cage.
Why do we have to be nice for a woman who clearly went over to get herself a prince, to bring him back, to give her access to this lifestyle that she would have never had access to based on who she is and how hard she works?
Walking away now wouldn't just mean heartbreak, it would mean humiliation on a global stage. Harry would look like the fool who lost it all. But here's what should send chills down everyone's spine. If someone can pull strings this tightly on a prince with limitless wealth, security, and influence, what chance does the average person have? If Harry can be turned inside out, then no one is untouchable. How many people out there are walking around convinced they're in perfect love stories, when in reality they're trapped in relationships built on exploiting their deepest wounds? That's the chilling question Harry's story raises. Because this isn't just about one prince. It's about how easy it is for someone to find your trauma, twist it, and then build an entire relationship on top of it. And here's the real kicker. It's not even about if Harry will one day see through Meghan's grip. The real question is this: when that moment comes, will there be anything left for him to salvage? His family? His reputation? His legacy? How much will survive after years of denial and destruction? So I want to hear from you. Do you think Harry's gone too far down this road to ever find his way back? Or is there still hope that he'll eventually wake up to what everyone else already sees so clearly? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.